courtroom in the Aransas County Courthouse located at 2718 Highway 35 North, Rockport, Texas, 78382. And I call this regular meeting to order. Would you please stand and join me in the invocation?
As always, Father, we're thankful for the blessings of this new day you've given us to live in this great county. And we pause at this time in the meeting to invite your presence in this midst of us today. In the words of John Adams, he said that democracy was envisioned for a moral and religious people, and that it's totally inadequate for the governance of any other. So our founding fathers, Father, envisioned you to be a part of these meetings. So to bring your wisdom, to bring your guidance, to bring your leadership into the thought process of government. And these commissioners this morning have an agenda before them that are looking to you for guidance. So we just pray that you speak to their hearts, give them the wisdom they need to make the decisions that benefit the citizens of this county. And it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledges.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Here.
Commissioner Casterline.
Here.
Your mic's not on, sir.
Here.
Commissioner Russo here, Commissioner Dupnick,
Here.
and Judge Garza.
Here, we've got a full court. At this time, we'll hear from citizens to be heard. I've got one that signed up. Gordon Lester.
I'll wait.
And four. All right, cool. We'll wait till the item. Anybody else sign up? Nope. Calling online. All right. We'll move on to section number 6, presentations and proclamations. Item number 1.
I move to approve the joint proclamation JP-01-0225 with the city of Rockport, town of Fulton, and Aransas County, recognizing the investing in educators in an investment in our children, family, and future, and proclaiming April the 5th through the 11th to be as the week of the young child.
I'll second them.
We've got a motion and a second. Ms. Tracy's going to read the proclamation.
All right, this is Joint Proclamation JP 01-2025. Whereas children's cognitive, physical, social, emotional, and language development are built on a foundation of positive interactions with adults, peers, and their environment. And whereas the first years of a child's life are the period of rapid brain development and lay the foundation for all future learning. And whereas high quality early care and education help build strong developmental foundations for young children during these critical years of brain development, leading to positive outcomes for individual children and better preparing them for school and future success. And whereas high quality early childhood education depends on dedicated early childhood educators who, with the support of families, provide the necessary early experiences for a strong foundation. Whereas the Children's Coalition of Aransas County is working to improve early learning opportunities and provide a solid foundation for children throughout Aransas County. And now, therefore, we, Ray Garza, Aransas County Judge, Kelly Cole, Mayor of the Town of Fulton, and Timothy J. Rowe, Mayor of the City of Rockport, do hereby recognize that investing in educators is an investment in children, families, and our future. We proclaim the week of April 5th through April 11th, 2025 as the Week of the Young Child, and encourage the citizens of Aransas County to express their appreciation by thanking and recognizing the teachers and others who make a difference in the lives of children in the town of Fulton, City of Rockport, and throughout Aransas County.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Go ahead and pass and sign. Item number 2.
I move to approve proclamation P-02-2025, recognizing April as Fair Housing Month.
Second.
Got a motion and second. Ms. Tracy will read.
Okay, proclamation P 02-2025, recognizing the month of April as Fair Housing Month. Whereas Title VIII of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, as amended, prohibits discrimination in housing and declares it a national policy to provide within constitutional limits for fair housing in the United States. And whereas the principle of fair housing is not only national law and national policy, but a fundamental human concept and entitlement for all Americans. And whereas the National Fair Housing Law during the month of April provides an opportunity for all Americans to recognize that complete success in the goal of equal housing opportunity can only be accomplished with the help and cooperation of all Americans. Now therefore, we, the Commissioners Court of Aransas County, do proclaim April as Fair Housing Month in the County of Aransas, and do hereby urge all the citizens of this locality to become aware of and support the fair housing law.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 3.
Move to approve proclamation P 03-2025, recognizing April as Child Abuse Prevention Month.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and second. Ms. Emily will read the proclamation.
Good morning.
Morning.
Proclamation P 03-2025, Child Abuse Prevention Month in Aransas County. Whereas child abuse and neglect are serious issues that affect our community and well-being of our children. And whereas every child deserves a safe and nurturing environment that supports their growth and development. And whereas in Aransas County, we recognize the importance of raising awareness about child abuse prevention and the critical role our community plays in protecting our children. And whereas during the month of April, we commit to increasing public awareness about the signs of child abuse and the resources to support families. And whereas it is essential to educate our community about the importance of reporting suspected abuse and providing support to victims and their families. And whereas community members, organizations, and local agencies are dedicated to preventing child abuse and promoting healthy and supportive environments for our children. And whereas we encourage all citizens to participate in activities that promote child abuse prevention and wear blue on April 1st to show support for this vital cause. And now therefore, we, the Commissioners Court of Aransas County, do hereby proclaim the month of April as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Aransas County. And we urge all residents to join in the efforts to prevent child abuse and support children and their families.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 4 is, we're gonna hear about, progress and development presentation by Patrick Cruz, the Aransas County Extension Agent, Coastal Marine Resources. Morning, Mr. Cruz.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here, Judge and Commissioners. I just want to tell you that it's been fun so far in my 2-year tenure here in AgriLife Extension. And also I work with Sea Grant. We provide education to the community of Rockport, Aransas County. So I gave you all a folder here like this. And it has, if you open it up on the left side, all my program summaries of the programs I've implemented in Aransas County in 2024 to present. So the first one we have is I've been working with Aransas County Coastal Marine Resource Youth in Aransas County and around. And in the year 2024, I've made 688. It's in that summary here in the text. You can read it at your leisure, but I like to take pictures. You'll see a lot of pictures in those program summaries. But I made 688 contacts and total education hours, 1,376. Some of the events that I do with these youth, explain oyster and oyster reef discussions. I have those discussions. Benefits of oyster reefs in the bay and the importance of oysters in the bay. And I educate at the Bay Education Center and at Goose Island, partnered with them. Also, do 4-H sports fishing, teach youngsters how to fish there at Fulton Pier. And also coordinate, teach shorebird photography. And we had a workshop there in Port Aransas at Leona Turnbell Birding Station. I also teach 4-H photography, and Tana's daughter over here was in our class. So she learned how to take some good pictures. Also, another program like page 2 is, this is really important here in Aransas County. It's oyster farming. And what I specialize in is in HACCP regulations. What all these farmers need and what they want to do is become certified by the Texas Department of Health to sell their oysters directly to the restaurants, to the public, and across state lines. So through programming, I help them pass that initial health department inspection on the first try. Currently, there's a map on the right side, 7 permitted oyster farms in our bays in Aransas County, Copano, Aransas. 6 of them, I have worked with them and help them get certified by the Texas Department of Health. And there's one pending. It's called Shuck 'em Up Oysters, and it's owned by Kevin and Lori Sims. They live in Lamar. I'll be working with them this upcoming year to get them certified. They're just waiting for their permit.
Patrick?
Yes.
What do the initials HACCP stand for?
Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point. And I knew you were going to ask me that. And I was driving from Corpus and I had to remember that acronym, but it stands for HACCP Analysis Critical Control Point. All food processors are required to have that to get certified. It's a requirement now. It's law, federal law. So even oyster processors have to have that to get licensed. Bubba knows all about that.
Yep.
And lastly, Texas Sea Grant Outreach. That's educating public on all marine related issues from find my notes here. That's general oyster programming. Also the benefits of oysters to the public, like over there at Goose Island, we have some big programs on site. So it's awesome. While you see the commercial oyster boats working, we talk about the oysters and the benefits of the oyster reefs in the bay. Also talk about, I go to the senior homes, Conviva and other senior places. I talk about Vibrio vulnificus. That's consumption of raw oysters. If you're at risk, it's a real dangerous situation. You could die. And also I talk about spread the word on flesh-eating bacteria and wade fishing. You know that during the summertime, that's could be a problem if you're at risk. Also conducted an oyster farming 101 class at AgriLife, our center out there. Had like 25 new farmers that may want to get into the farming industry. They were potential farmers. Did a boaters education course in partnership with the Coast Guard Auxiliary, Aransas County. And also do just recreational fishing events at Goose Island, teaching the public how to fish. And so in general, that's basically what I've done in the last year. It's a work in progress. The previous Marine agent, he was there 20 years ago. So I'm having to start from ground zero, and it's a work in progress. These are oyster farms, courtesy of Copano Oyster Company on Bayside. And if you want to see them, I can approach the bench. But these are farm-raised oysters, 8 months old. Audience can see. Now, they're booming. I mean, it's good for the economy of Rockport. All these oyster farms, they hire people, they sell to the restaurants, and But this is a a farm raised oyster with the big bill. They run them through big old metal rollers, and it chips off the bill and makes them nice and neat and smooth. You can see that. So you have a dozen oysters like these on your half shell. Judge likes them. It's a prettier presentation. Any questions?
Do they run them through that equipment when the oyster is still inside?
Yes, these are live oysters. I'm not going to eat them, but I'm going to shuck them and save the shell for future education programs. That's all I have. Any questions?
Yeah, how, whenever we go on low tide and we see the oyster shells or the oysters out in Little Bay and everything, are those oysters dead or are they?
They're alive. They can live up to 3-4 weeks out of water. The last couple of weeks, we've had extremely low tides. You can see in Little Bay, all the reefs there. So that's how they survive. They use their adductor muscle to stay tightly closed. And then when the tide comes back in, they kind of open up and they start feeding again, but they can survive out of the water.
And I've heard that one oyster cleans a lot of water
30 to 50 gallons of water per day
per oyster.
per oyster. So if you have 1 million oysters out in the bay, can you imagine how much water they're filtering
Well, I know.
on
I
an
know
oyster
Little Bay-
farm?
I know Little Bay is a lot cleaner than it was before they did the oysters out there. I mean, used to, you could drive by and you'd see a little bit of a sheen on the thing. You don't see that now.
That they do. They one of the programs we have 2 fish bowls. We have 2 oyster small clumps in each one. The water clears up in like 10-15 minutes, crystal clear. It's amazing. Maybe I'll show you that program one day and show you the difference. It's pretty neat. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Right. Item number 5. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to accept it?
Move to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Got a motion and a second?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Consent agendas accepted. Item number 9.
I move to approve resolution R-07 2025, the Juvenile Justice and Truancy Prevention Grant Program for Aransas County.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second?
I have a question maybe for Laura,
Yeah, come on up.
since you're in here. And you might want to introduce yourself.
I'm Donald White. I'm the counselor that they hired for the program.
Donna White, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the grant has been an enormous asset to the juvenile program. Having an in-house counselor helped us deal with situations much quicker without having to refer out. We actually have them. We have currently on Thursdays a group for drug awareness, and then on Thursdays we have a coping skill to help deal with the anxiety, depression. And so the school, we just had a meeting with them last week, and they're they're seeing the big difference in the prevention of truancy because they're there in school and they've been able to manage through the day. If they have to see someone, she can go into the schools and deal with it right there and then. So it's been a wonderful, and Tana has helped so much with this grant. We sure appreciate having her.
And are you LCDC
Yes.
counselor? Okay. And then I'm pretty sure this is correct. And someone is going to read this resolution?
Right. I was
Okay.
gonna ask if you would-
But when it
No?
mentions that the authorized official is given the power, bunch of other stuff, and then on behalf of the applicant agency, we are the applicant agency, correct?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Mhm.
Nice to meet you, Don.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and read the resolution.
Yeah, about how many kids or how many contacts do you have in a year?
My
No.
target goal is 400. I had 512 last year.
Okay. Now, that's seeing more than one time. I mean, that's how many total. Okay.
The groups are
That's
8 weeks.
amazing.
Yes, the groups are 8 weeks. And so, and it's not just open for court-based. So
Right.
it's open for anybody in the county.
Well,
the
and
city.
that was the second thing I was
Yes,
going to ask
yes.
is,
And so
is-
we're getting more. If I get calls, then we let them know and bring them in, provide rides to the group. Uh, with the family, incorporate the family as well.
Okay, well,
Or-
I've had not many, but a few of my constituents have asked, well, how do I get my child into this program?
You
So
can
I-
call the school, you can call the courts, you can call directly to me. I know we're gonna have an event, the principals at the beach where all schools come together for a fun day. And we have a table and usually I give out my resources and my cards.
Okay.
But anybody can let them know, tell them to call me, call the courts. And we'll get them started.
And my groups are open, and sometimes my biggest compliment is when the kids bring friends. They want to help get sober and stay sober with them.
And some have done it more than once. We think we had 6
Mhm.
that finished the program and then they felt that they were falling back. So them themselves make contact and say, can I redo it? And they've come by.
Good.
We had 3 seniors last year that were just so grateful that they were able to make it to the stage because of the services.
And about how many interventions do you do a year?
Ooh. Yeah.
No,
It's-
you know,
it's
they-
very high.
I-
Mhm.
Because I see you everywhere.
Yes. Yes, I will get every call, and we did hire a second JCM, so that will help spread us more.
Second what?
JCM, juvenile case manager.
Okay,
So we did get her hired about 2 weeks ago, and so she's in training, and so we're gonna be more out there to be
That's
able
awesome.
to help, make visits.
well, y'all do a really, really good job.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to read the resolution. Resolution R-7-2025 Juvenile Justice and Truancy Prevention Grant Program in Aransas County, Texas. Whereas the Aransas County Commissioners Court find it in the best interest of the citizens of Aransas County that the Juvenile Justice and Truancy Prevention Grant Program, Juvenile Justice and Truancy Prevention Program Project be operated for fiscal year 2026. And whereas the Aransas County Commissioners Court agrees to provide no matching funds for the said project as no matching funds are required by the Juvenile Justice and Truancy Prevention Grant Program. And whereas the Aransas County Commissioners Court agrees that in the event of loss or misuse of the office of the governor funds, the Aransas County Commissioner Court assures that the funds will be returned to the office of the governor in full. Whereas the Aransas County Commissioners Court designates the county judge as the grantee's authorized official. The authorized official is given the power to apply for, accept, reject, alter, or terminate the grant on behalf of the applicant agency. Now therefore be it resolved that the Aransas County Commissioners Court approves the submission of the grant application for the Juvenile Justice and Truancy Prevention to the Office of the Governor, Criminal Justice Division, grant number 4832603.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline, Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Thank you. Item number 10.
I move to approve the conclusion of the Aransas County Animal Care Needs Assessment Report conducted for the expansion and our new facility.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Miss Caitlin, come on up.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners and Judges. You have in front of you the recent needs assessment performed at Aransas County Animal Shelter by Shelter Planners of America. According to the data collected in a tour of our facility, our shelter is no longer adequate enough to serve our area. We have been commended for how well we are making what we have work and how well we are taking care of it. But there are community needs that are not being able to be met due to the fact that we do not have adequate space to do so. But I can answer any questions if y'all have some. Shelter planners say they're sorry they're not here to be able to speak today due to the fact they had some other commitments that they had to deal with. So I will try my best.
I just had a couple of things I noted. And it seems like it was a very extensive survey. One of the recommendations they make is that there be a very extensive landscaping plan. And I just thought that was a curious thing. I think at the Humane Society, they have some artificial turf that is antibacterial or something so that if the dogs go on that, it doesn't create infection problems for other dogs. But I'm not sure that landscaping is a big deal in that, so maybe there's something I'm missing there. I just would ask that Renee Butler's department also have input, because one of the recommendations they made were for multiple separate smaller HVA systems serving a portion, each would serve a portion of the facility. And I know that her team is very knowledgeable about HVAC issues. And there are a few buildings that we're using where they have that system installed and it's not really effective. But perhaps in this situation, it would be different. Otherwise, it's very good. I would just recommend a couple of things. And you may have done this already. When the Humane Shelter in Corpus Christi was built over near Cavanis Field on Saratoga, it was state of the art. Now, it's true, that was probably 25 years ago, so the state of the art changes. But it was built with an eye towards making it attractive for potential adopters to visit with the dogs, and also for keeping it clean and ease of maintenance. And I was able to tour it because I was friends with the architect that designed it, and I was very impressed with it. I know that Pee Wee's shelter over there just built a new shelter to expand because they've been in something atrocious. And I would just say, recommend that you and some of the people involved in this also tour those facilities and see what is working for them. And especially since Pee Wee's is so new, maybe a year and a half old at the most, they might have some recommendations. And also, I looked at the one they built in Ingleside. I mean, I haven't gone over and physically looked at it, but I looked at it in these pictures. And I would just say what we found out talking with the architect for the aquarium, because of where we are, wood is not a good structure for us because of termites. And if there's some way that we can use metal and just protect it from the elements, that would be a good recommendation. Yes, ma'am.
I think with the expansion of our population and more and more folks are using the transfer station, and everything, I think it would be a good thing for us to start looking for a different location for animal control.
Yes, sir.
More centralized location. I don't think that's something we can jump out and do today, but I think that's something that we do need to look at, because animal control, whenever I go to animal control, and we've gotten several animals through animal control, you know, where's the animal control located? What's out by the transfer station, out by the dump, you know? No, that's just not real good. You know, the other shelter that we deal with, Aransas, I can never remember the name, but it's attractive, and it's kind of in the neighborhood, but it's not really in the neighborhood. But I think that's something that we as a court need to look at. You know, maybe not this, after we get into the courthouse and get a little bit more stable, but be able to look for the next 20 or 30 years, expansion project where we can go further on if we need to. But I think y'all do such a good job that animal control really needs to be highlighted whenever you go out there. You know, it needs to be a place that people feel good to go to look for an animal.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was like the main thing with the whole landscaping part, is just to make it a little bit more inviting, not so like I feel like I'm coming to visit the jail, is what some people have said. They've also said, I feel like I'm just coming here to the dump. I mean, we literally have people asking us for mosquito stuff, thinking that we're environmental health, even though we have a sign outside explaining that we're the animal shelter. So, I mean, it's just, it helps that perception for the public to understand this is more of an inviting place, which of course it doesn't have to go major extravagancy or anything, just more adequate and more inviting. And
Well, we have a lot of space in precinct 1,
okay.
and it's central too. So.
Yes.
Well, they were proposing a new entrance, because I know in one part they said where it's located, it's a little bit out of the way, but then later they showed a map of the county and they said, so it's centrally located. And I was like, well, is it out of the way or is it centrally located?
So,
But the new entrance,
Mhm.
I think if the decision is made to put an expansion there or a new building there, I think that would be good to define yourself as different from environmental health in the transfer station.
Yeah.
and it helps too with the locking part too, because we
Right.
do have it to where they have a lock or we have a lock and another chance since they come out and do the Heartworm House. There's 2 locks. There's a contract with that. So it does have some confusions when they come and try to do that with the locking system, and it would help alleviate a lot of that as well. The part with the sanitizing stuff is what I've looked into. I've been trying to get a Petco Love grant where we can get 5,000 every so a month for stuff for the shelter or toys. And that's where I was trying to think of revamping to try to make it to where they're more sanitized, able to be sanitized is the best way to say it,
Yeah.
and be adequately cleaned, because as of right now, even shelter planners stated, it is a giant fomite, which means anytime they go pee and poop, doesn't matter if you pick it up, it is going to go to the next dog that walks in there, because you can spray, but it's in the ground from years and years and years of animals being on it. So it's no matter how much medicines we do, we're going to have to always deworm ever so often. We're going to always have to make sure their shots are up to date. And hopefully animals aren't staying that long, but there are animals that come in with it. And so it's just one of those things that just constant maintenance.
But some of those materials.
Oh,
really
those can
discourage that.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the
good.
thing. Nothing in there. It's more of their best practice for shelter practice is what they recommend. As a quarantine facility, most of everything inside has to be almost stainless steel so it can be cleaned adequately and sanitized. So, and this concrete has to be sealed properly and everything to make sure that it's able to be sanitized. So everything in there is just at the highest recommendation. Does not mean that it has to be set in stone. Does not mean that's what we have to choose. If we were to ever go forward with that other step with the concept too of like a conceptual plan and stuff like that, there is multiple products that can be used, which they explained to us during the needs assessment, that this is just some recommendations.
And commissioners and public, this is just the first step. You know, if we ever go out, this is not something that a grant could pay for, so we would have to go out for a bond election as a capital improvement. But this is just the first step. This is tell us that, yeah, we are behind in times. It is inadequate, but before we get there, you know, Caitlin's doing a really good job and her staff's doing a really good job at
It was an excellent.
And I was part of the meetings, and they did really have a strong compliment for our animal care department, Caitlin's department. They said for what they have to work with, because there's a lot of, with the design, a lot of it, there's a lot of chance for cross contamination and things like that. And even with the public getting involved, there's issues. And they've really complimented them, the work they did. So I think we're very thankful to have Caitlin and her
But-
staff here.
like Commissioner Cheney said, you know, we got to get a little more stable, get in the courthouse, and I don't know, maybe next year, year after, but it's not going to be this year.
No worries.
Appreciate you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Caitlin.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
All right, item number 11.
I move to approve extending the real estate purchase and sale agreement between Rockport Property Entity LLC, EVC-CC Land Holdings LLC, and Aransas County, Texas by 90 days for the purchase of approximately 972.952 acres of land out of the A6 Joseph Fessenden Survey, J. Smith Survey, and A14 Anselmo Vergara Survey near Cape Valero and 1751 FM in Aransas County for $2,350,000 to provide additional time to finalize the agreement for the receipt of grant funds from the Go Mesa program, the Coastal Management Program Cycle 29 for projects of special merit, and authorize the county judge to execute necessary documents.
I'd like to second that, but also the correction on that 1781.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We got a motion and a second, and it's not 1751, 1781.
Sir.
Thank you. All right, so this is, God, let you go.
We're currently in discussion with the property owners regarding this extension. And it would be the same purchase agreement that has come before y'all previously. The items before you now so that we can continue that discussion. I believe that later today we'll be having discussions with them. So yeah, we're just wanting the option to continue that discussion.
And the funds, just so, to bring everybody up to date, the funds are from Go Mesa.
Yes, sir.
They're not necessarily from the county.
Correct.
And just to update the commissioners, the sellers are a little hesitant to give us this extension. We could approve this extension and ask for it, but I have a meeting later on this afternoon with the sellers because it's been a long time. How long has this process been so far? 17 months?
Correct.
17 months. And so they don't have a lot of faith in the process. And so I'm not gonna, well, I guess I'm gonna say, I guess I'm gonna beg for the extension, but I think right now they're asking for more earnest money, and that's just absolutely not gonna happen. We did get approved for the grant. We got the grant. It's just, we just need time. And if they don't approve the extension, then the deal's off and the money we're paying for the survey and what was it? The
Appraisal.
appraisal, that's just gonna be out of our pocket.
Would we continue with the survey if they're not
No.
going to allow us to have this extension without giving them additional earnest money?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so
But-
we might have some sunk cost in that survey, but it wouldn't be the full amount that was approved.
But-
Right, well, we're under a contract,
Yeah,
so.
But this agenda item, I mean, it appears that we're approving it right now.
Right, well, I still need the seller. to
Whether the
approve it.
price is more or not, I'm a little uncomfortable with.
I think, aren't we just approving an extension of time?
We're approving the extension.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but they don't want to give us, right now, they don't want to give us the extension without something like $50,000 non-refundable.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that have to come back to the court if they ask for that?
They would, yeah, I can't approve that. And I'm not going to.
I mean, to me, I almost think that you should have the meeting and then bring it back to court.
Well. In the, it's a timing thing. I think we're just approving the extension.
I think, if
And-
I
and
may,
so-
Judge, when you get through,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We're just approving the extension and the sellers could give it to us. If we don't, we gotta wait another 2 weeks and that's just another 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
at least I could tell the sellers this
Yeah.
afternoon, the court agrees for the extension, with the extension.
But not at the additional
Yeah.
price.
I think my understanding from what I've picked up also on this is that the seller may think the county really does not have an interest in obtaining this land. One of the things is because of the fact that basically from last August to this point in time, there was a big lag in time of trying to get things completed to get to this point where we'd have the survey and things done. And they just really don't think they really have a doubt there may be a commitment on the county's part, on the commissioner's court's part to get this completed. And I think it'd be important to approve this at this time.
Just the extension. of
Just
time.
approve the extension. And as the judge said, that this isn't asking for any money at this time or anything. There'll be another discussion about that. So at that point in time, we would have to come back to the, if that was to be the case. But hopefully you'll be able to talk in your
Yeah,
conversation with
Get
it.
it done, but $50,000 more earnest money, not non-refundable, I just can't, I can't do that. I don't think this
Yeah.
court would approve it. But, they're not asking for more money, we're just asking for more time, and I'm gonna ask them later on.
How much more time are we asking for?
We're asking for 3 more months, 90 days.
Okay.
Commissioner Russo, I have an answer for your question. Both of the contracts have terms built in that say if for any reason, the project stops, we will only pay the land surveyor and the land appraiser up until the work they've already performed.
Okay, great.
But will
thank
not
you.
be obligated for the rest of it.
Oh.
But there's also a constitutional prohibition of increasing the amount of a contract after that contract's been executed, so we couldn't agree. You're correct.
Oh.
We couldn't agree to more money.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Kat.
Be a good spot for an animal control place.
No.
No, no.
I don't think so.
I just-
Commissioner
Strike
Cheney.
that from the record.
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. That was 11. Move on to item number 12.
I move to approve contract renewal with, is that Saris? Saris Environmental Services, Inc. for disaster emergency response between Aransas County and Saris Environmental Services, Inc. So 1 year, renewal option to begin July the 1st, 2025 through June the 30th, 2026.
Second. Got a motion and a second. We got Mike Gear with his emergency management coordinator hat on.
Correct.
Appreciate it.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. This is a renewal of what we passed last year at Commissioners Court, and then the following four are very similar in nature. The Sirius is an environmental services company that basically we would activate an agreement with in the event that we needed them for post-hurricane or pre-hurricane preparation.
Now, this is something we're gonna do every year.
I would imagine, I think
maybe-
the original was for 1 year with 4 automatic renewals.
Right,
Uh,
and this is something that we keep and we keep on going, just so we've got it procured and we can call them as we need them.
And Mike, it said there was a renewal letter, which the other ones had, but this one did not have. But I'm thinking it probably would be very similar to what the other ones
I would
say.
imagine it would be exactly like that.
Okay.
That's just an oversight. We'll get that done.
And this is the third of the
Yes.
4 extensions we approved. Okay.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 13.
I'm-
Move to approve a contract renewal with Crowder Gulf for disaster debris management between Aransas County and Crowder Gulf. The 1 year renewal option to begin June 12th, 2025 through June 11th, 2026.
I'll second that.
Got a motion second. Same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Passes. Item number 14.
I move to approve a contract renewal for Garner Environmental Services Incorporated for disaster emergency response services between Aransas County and Garner Environmental Services Incorporated. The 1 year renewal option to begin July 1st through June 30th, 2026.
Second.
Motion second. Same thing, but with
Were they similar to
Garner.
series?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
aye, passes. Item number 15.
I move to approve a contract renewal with Thompson Consulting for disaster recovery and restoration services between Aransas County and Thompson Consulting. The 1 year renewal option to begin May 1st, 2025 through April 30, 2026.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
I have a question though.
Yes, ma'am.
On the other renewal letters, the letterhead and then the address down at the bottom is from the auditor's office. But on this one, for the disaster recovery and restoration, it was from the county attorney's office.
Well, and county attorney may want to talk about that, but the disaster recovery restoration services is a lot broader, I think. It probably exceeds just the county auditor's office. So it would be, these would be the folks that would basically be doing what Regional Pool Alliance and North Star were doing for us before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can check on that, Commissioner. I don't know if it was just because that was what was done last year and he just didn't change it, or if it was something that was needed to go through the attorney's office.
Okay. If you
But
can
we
just let
will,
me
we
know,
will
please.
double check on that.
And could we get an action chart on, it seems like we're doing the same thing over and over again. Can we get an action chart of what each company does?
I can tell you that right now.
I'd like, so I could show it to the public. Can you just, just tell me what it is?
Sure.
But I mean, go ahead and tell me now, but.
Oh. Well, Cirrus is the one, they will do like equipment if we need anything to come in, any heavy equipment, something like that.
Okay.
Personnel, if we end up with needing personnel.
Generators.
Exactly. Crowder Gulf is our debris. They are the ones that we used with Harvey. They have the contract now, or would have the contract. Garner also is similar to what Cirrus is, where they do the equipment, the generators, personnel if we need them, offices if we need mobile offices or anything like that. The Thompson Consulting, this one that we just did is for assisting, like Mike said, in recovery. They would be the ones that come in and help assess damages and help with
They
insurance
do
and all
they
that
do the
stuff.
audit like they did last time.
Yes. Then on the next one that you're fixing to discuss is Thompson Consulting also. They would be this contract would be for monitoring with debris, which is required by FEMA. If you're going to get reimbursed for debris, you have to
Right.
have the monitoring, and that's what they would be doing for that.
They did
one.
they did that for us, with
With
Harvey.
Harvey, yes,
They
sir.
did a very, very good job.
Yes.
Okay.
Did we vote on 15?
No.
No.
All right. We need to vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. No, item number 16.
I move to approve the contract renewal for Thompson Consulting for monitoring services related to debris removal and disposal between Aransas County and Thompson Consulting. This is 1-year renewal option with an option that will begin July the 1st, 2025 through June the 30th, 2026.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. We already discussed this.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Passes. Item number 17.
I move to approve a contract non-renewal with Campbell Oil Company for aviation fuel services. Aransas County and McCampbell Oil entered into an agreement on April 8th, 2024 for a term of 1 year with 4 1-year renewal options. We are requesting approval to not renew the contract and go back out for bids.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Lester, would you like to speak now?
You want to? I can speak and then let you talk.
Okay, all right.
And I
Probably
also
not.
have a question.
Yes, ma'am. And so airport manager hat on. Would you like to ask your question first?
If the contract expires on April 7th, who's going to temporarily provide services until this court, goes through the process, you do the RFP, and then the selection is made, and then it comes to us for recommendation?
It'll continue to be Campbell unless they decide not to, and in which case we'll have to put it out on the open market for fuel as needed.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's a possibility?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
So first of all, I'd like to let the members of the court know that I have some esteemed members of my airport advisory board behind me, and this is significant. So I have the chairman, Jerry Brown, I have member Gordon Lester, and member Marshall Formby. This is significant because in the 10 years plus that I've been the airport manager, I've never had more than 2 of my board members present with me for something. So that tells you that this is obviously a very important item. They've heard me talk about it for the last at least the last 9 months, that this was probably going to happen or needed to happen. And so I think that if you can, Gordon, you're welcome to come up and talk, but he's probably just going to echo everything I'm going to say, that Campbell has left us wanting, I think, from a customer service standpoint. They haven't followed through on some of the promises that were made. Have now made given us path forward to some of those promises, but here we are a year later and we're still not really branded. I have customer service issues on their side. Their processing hub for credit card processing is difficult. It's not user friendly. It's been really hard for my crew to learn it. Contract fuel prices have been all over the place. It seems kind of arbitrary when it needs to be set in stone. And I'd like to, on the next item, ask you to let me RFP, but this current item, I'm just asking you to let us send a letter to not renew.
So how many providers are there potentially in this area?
Well, they're all US wide, just depending on whether or not they want to get into the market. Campbell, I don't think had really been in our market prior to us going out on the last RFP very long. But there are 4 or 5 that I would anticipate we will get a response from.
That actually have facilities here locally.
So no,
Corpus,
that
Victoria.
it's just like the gas stations that you drive up to with your car. They're going to get fuel from Flint Hills, from Deer Park, or around Pasadena, Tyler, Texas, over in Longview, or in Louisiana, or they're going to get fuel from the actual refinery plants.
Yeah, they're just more transport than anything.
But do we have that, and that's kind of what I was getting at, do we have, how many refineries do we have that
Well,
make aviation?
that's a good question. So right at, right here in Corpus, we have Flint Hills. They make jet fuel. However, we buy our jet fuel with an additive called FSII, and it's an ICE inhibitor is the II part of that. When you get your fuel pre-mixed, you get it out of Deer Park, which is out of Pasadena. So, ideally, I'd like to get our fuel from Flint Hills because it's just right up the road, and it would probably save us a bundle on transport. But there are a lot of other requirements that come along with pre-mixing your fuel, with mixing your fuel on the location with the additive, and there's a lot of pitfalls in it. And so, over the years, it's just it has proved time and time again that it's better just to buy it pre-mixed. Doesn't hurt anything. It's designed for aircraft that don't have jet fuel burning aircraft that don't have tank heaters. And so it prevents icing at higher altitudes. Planes with tank heaters don't need it, but they can still burn just fine.
I think it's important to note also, you can sell your fuel at a profit and your fuel prices are well within market range, right?
Absolutely they are. Yes, sir. And so that's another issue that I've had is I think that Campbell has been very transparent in their pricing. But it tends to be 40 to 60 cents higher per gallon than some of the market competitors. And that eats into our fuel profits heavily. And as you know, that fuel profits are the biggest revenue generator at the airport by a long shot.
All right, Mr. Lester.
My name is Gordon Lester. I'm a member of the airport board. Day after tomorrow, I will have been flying for 55 years. And so I've been flying ever since. One of the normal things that pilots go through in the course of a pre-flight is fuel inspections. They call it, you check your sumps basically for contamination. It's usually just a cursory thing because you normally don't have any issues. Speaking with the refuelers here at the airport, it's not unusual for them when they receive a fresh load of fuel from Campbell to have to drain 5 or 6 gallons out of the sump of contaminated fuel. And that gives me some concern because we don't need to get that contaminated fuel into our aircraft or the people who fly in and out of here. So I would ask the commissioners and the contracting to maybe give a priority to the RFP process so we can get this contract turned around quickly.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Just to, if it's okay, let me explain just a little bit to what Mr. Lester was saying.
Oh.
Apparently, and I didn't know this, and I'm finding it out now, that the fuel providers or the whoever you're contracted with, there are different locations within the refineries that you can get your fuel load from. And so I think the refineries kind of have an A grade, B grade, D grade, maybe a C grade, and down the line. Your rack rate that you pay for fuel on any given day or any given week is also perhaps tiered within the refineries. So I don't know where Campbell's buying our gas at, is what I'm trying to tell you. I don't know where they're getting it wholesale, but there is a difference in quality. We do, like Mr. Lester said, we sump it until we get a clear and bright, where there's no contaminants, there's no water, it's clear, you can see all the way through it. And sometimes it does take us 5 or 6 gallons off the bottom of the tank before we get there. And I mean, we're looking for no specks, no nothing, all the way to the bottom of the tank, or to the bottom of the bucket. And it's the previous supplier wasn't like that. They have their QC controls in place at their corporate level. I trusted that process, and I'm sure that Campbell does too. But it has been an issue, yes, with this.
So they don't give you a refinery
We get
bill of
a
lading
bill of lading, yes, sir.
with when they bring your fuel?
Yes.
I mean, if they don't, I would think that was something you want to put in a contract to
No, we get
whoever
that.
provides it, because I know I bought a lot of fuel.
Hmm.
My time with my boats, and there were some refineries that we wouldn't take fuel from.
It's,
because
well,
they-
like I say, because we're buying jet fuel mixed, it's coming from Deer Park unless Deer Park's offline for whatever reason. So that's the refinery, but like I said, there may be 4 or 5 different points in the refinery, that you're getting a
Yeah.
batch.
I
You may get
think
a,
You would want to watch too for if you have somebody that you're getting it from, that they're not bringing it direct from the refinery. Maybe they have a bulk storage tank at their
Don't-
facility that they're bringing into it and then pulling their fuel out of their own tank. That's just kind of a
I haven't seen that, but
thing that
that's
I've run
something to
across.
look for. Yes, sir. And we're talking mainly about jet fuel. I think all the avgas is coming out of one place, one point of origin in Tyler. It's not an issue. We're not having problems with avgas.
All right. And you can hold a full transport.
I can hold 8,000 gallons. I've got a 10,000 gallon jet tank and a 12,000 gallon avgas tank.
Commissioner Cheney, Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 18.
I move to approve allowing the airport manager to publish a request for proposals for a bulk aviation fuel supplier.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye.
Thank you.
We'll get that.
And I would also like to mention, I'd like to be on the rating team for that aviation fuel provider. Because I know when I reviewed the last ones, Campbell promised a lot, so it's disappointing.
Yeah, Eric Smith will be putting that together. I'm sure he'll reach out to you.
Okay. Thank you. And probably Commissioner Dupnick too.
Item number 19. Oh,
I move to approve.
hold real quick. Let's take a quick break,
Okay.
please. Thank you. Take a 10-minute break. All right, we'll move on to item number 19. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve a request to solicit a request for proposals for medical, dental, and vision insurance for the possible change of coverage of Aransas County employee.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Good
Ms. Upton,
morning.
Good morning.
Do we do this every year?
We don't.
I'm
It's
doing
just,
it now.
the judge and I have been approached by several insurance brokers stating their interest. So we're just opening it up to see what our options are. And since I submitted this agenda item, our loss ratio with TAC has increased to 110%. And we're still waiting on all of March's numbers, so it may increase again. So we're just looking at what our options are. This isn't saying we're changing, but it doesn't hurt to look at what's available.
Well, I tell you, personally, I think that's probably a good idea to do. But I'm telling you, Blue Cross Blue Shield have done a wonderful job for, in my experience, over United Healthcare.
Yes.
I mean, I would really hate to change unless it's really an economic benefit for the employees.
Yes, and also we might see that they offer Blue Cross Blue Shield as well. We just have better rates and better terms. Personally, I do love TAC and I love all the benefits we receive from them. Just want to see what's out there though as well.
Yeah, I have no complaints with our insurance or TAC, or, I mean, we get a lot of support. No complaints whatsoever, but just to do our
Just
due
take a look.
diligence and see what's out there. And we've had a lot approach us. Give everybody the equal chance.
I would also mention, and you may be going over some information with us, but as the former HR director, I know working with TAC was excellent. Anything that we needed, they could do for us. And I'm glad that our HR director has taken it upon herself this year, I think, to try to enforce a healthier, more active wellness program, because that's a large part of our problem.
Mhm.
But looking at the loss ratio or the payout, it's incredible the TAC is keeping us, to be honest with you, because we have dreadful numbers, absolutely dreadful numbers. And a lot of that can be changed by people getting their annual checkups and doing the wellness programs.
Yes, ma'am. And we did have an increase in annual checkups, and the health
Yeah,
fair
I
was
saw
a
that
great
also.
success. So if we continue this, I mean, our rates can go down, which would be great. We're also going to look at a high deductible and a low deductible plan. So TAC's going to submit that as well. So we can see if we're going to do dual options this year or, you know, whatever works best for the employees.
And sometimes also an insurance company, to get a foot in the door, will give low rate bids at first, and then you are really hit. for
Yeah,
the
they
second
catch
and
it up.
third years on renewal. So just keep that in mind.
Yes,
But I'll
ma'am.
listen to what you have to say.
Yes, ma'am. Well, that's all I really had to say. Did y'all have any questions? That's the menu review from TAC.
Okay, did you pass that out?
I only had one other copy, so I wanted you to
okay.
have it.
Well, then I won't talk.
Okay.
I would just, this isn't really relevant perhaps to this RFP, but in reading through the information and the request for proposal, on page 8 of 56. I would just like to point out that the county switched to covering retired employees after I left here as the HR director. It was something that I was always opposed to as HR director. And fortunately, I could convince the judge not to do that when it was offered as an option. I asked our HR director to let me know how many retired employees we currently have serving on our insurance plan. And she said that we have 9.
Yes, ma'am.
And the cost to the county, I just want to emphasize this, and it's not just to the county, it's to our residents of the county who are paying taxes here. People can retire, and we've had people retire either in their late 50s or very early 60s, and they stay on our insurance until they're 65, and they keep paying the same amount as if they were an active employee. And the county is picking up the difference every month, and that's about $800 now. So 800 times 12, $9,600, almost $10,000 a year per retired employee. And I know I've heard it said that the Benefits and Compensation Committee say that that's a major attraction in hiring people. But if we're hiring people because they're looking to get an early retirement and stay on the county's insurance, I'm not sure those are the best people for us to be hiring. So I just want to mention that. I'll probably talk about it again. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 20.
Approve accepting the bid tabulation scores and awarding engineering to Anchor QEA Inc. for the Shell Ridge Road Flood Protection, a FEMA disaster recovery approved project number DR-32-0016 via sub-award agreement with TDM, Texas Division of Emergency Management, as a hazard mitigation grant project for Aransas County.
I'll
And I
second
think-
that.
I think part of this is the resolution R08, which was attached, but it wasn't mentioned in that agenda item.
There is a resolution. There is a resolution
There's
on
a resolution.
RO8 2025.
Just the resolution accepts that we approved this, which I know we always do that, but I just thought we should maybe mention that in there. Otherwise, it won't be on the agenda for another 2 weeks.
I can add that as an amendment in the minutes.
There's a resolution to accept the engineers.
A resolution of the Commissioners Court of Aransas County selecting and awarding the contract for the engineering coastal civil engineering services for Aransas County Shell Ridge Road Project, with the project being funded by through Texas Division of Emergency Management, has issued a sub-grant for the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, DR 433216, Hurricane Harvey and local funds, and authorizing county judge to execute necessary documents, providing for severance of invalid provisions and confirming compliance with the Open Meetings Act.
So if it's a resolution, we have to act on it separate, don't we?
If this is the one I'm thinking about, I met with Eric Smith on Friday afternoon and I think he submitted a resolution. There's a typically the process of informing the Commissioners Court that someone was chosen. There's a hiring resolution, and then after that comes the contract, which is also presented for the Commissioners Court's approval. So I would be very surprised if that hiring resolution was not here. I'm sure it's in a clerical error of some kind, but I do know that it's already drafted. So,
It's in the packet.
It's in our.
oh, it's in
Yeah,
the
it's in the
packet.
packet.
Oh, okay.
That's how I think
Um,
about it.
On the agenda item.
It just wasn't in the wording.
Oh,
I was thinking maybe we should add,
I would you could either amend the motion to
Yeah.
include the approval of that or wait the 2 weeks, but if it's already included in the packet and has been posted, legally speaking, I would be
okay,
comfortable with
can
an
just
amendment.
amend it.
Yep.
Okay, so I will amend the previous read motion to include approval of resolution R-08-2025.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Um,
Commissioner Cheney second, or who seconded it?
Change.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, I'm in my second.
So this is to accept the engineer for Shell Ridge. We had 5 bidders, companies who bid, and then we had 3 raters, and this was the highest rating, Anchor QEA. And we do have Ian Fisher here if anybody would like to ask him any questions from Anchor QEA.
Sooner we start, the better.
I
I
agree.
don't know if that's a question, but I can tell you, I've heard from the Shell Ridge Road residents, and the sooner we start, the better. Thank you.
So we started with our vote.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casserly,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Aye. Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number
Thank you.
21.
Move to approve the December 2024 treasurer's report.
Second. Got a motion and a second.
Good morning.
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 You should have the reports before you. I know it's probably been a lot to look at, having 3 months thrown at you at one time, but we just, the auditors just finished posting everything back to close the year. And so the December numbers is what cash balance is for the year. Do you have any questions on that?
And this might just be procedural, I'm not sure, but or maybe we're waiting for grant funding to come in. But under the flood control and the waterway restoration, where they have $500,000 in the red and for flood control and 1.6 million under waterway restoration.
So that is at the physical bank, and then it has investments. If you look at go back 2 columns to the ending balance, the fund actually has 965,016. But Jackie had done a cleanup on the 430 and the courthouse anchor and the grant fund. But she did it in March, so at that point, I didn't have the opportunity to move the money to the bank to not show those negative numbers, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Entries were the ones that, oh, I thought I had it on. I'm sorry. These are the entries that I sent y'all the notice on that we would have to do for the year end because we could not have a deficit, balance in any of our accounts.
Okay.
They were turned around and, put back January 1, so you'll see the difference in your January report.
So the ending bank balance versus the bank balance. Okay, I apologize.
The total fund had
Yes.
money, but it wasn't at the bank. The bank was carrying one fund or the other, but there is money at the bank to cover it.
Okay.
But not in that fund.
Thank you. That's why I'm not the auditor or the treasurer.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casserly,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Item number 22.
I move to approve the fourth quarter Aransas County Treasurer's Investment Report.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Okay, working on the same fund balances on page 1 of the investment portfolio, it will highlight the interest earned. The interest earned for the operating funds and accrued is $823,469, $145,039 for the INS and bond funds for a total of $968,508.
How's our interest rate running on our balances?
The bank in November went from 0.4 to 1%, so we're, doubled our money there. But the investment pools are still right. They've gone down a little bit with all of the presidential election and all the stuff going on, but they're still anywhere from 4 to 4.5%, which is still a nice rate.
Yeah.
We did have all of our, except for one agency bonds that were making 4.5 to 5%. Most all of those were called or matured, so there's only one left, which matures. I have it somewhere, I think, in pretty soon. So I do move as much as I can into the investment pools, which are liquid, to bring back when we need the cash flow.
Do you want to mention at this point about the proposed legislation that would take the authority of treasurers and commissioners away from making decisions on investment of their funds and give it to the state?
Yeah, I'll bring that up. I think I discussed it or sent something to you one time when you were asking for legislature, Judge. But if you look at history, Tex Pool was the original county investment pool, and it was administered by the state. And long story short, it went into shambles, and the state really didn't administrate them very well. Well, somebody has proposed a Senate bill, was it? Senate bill?
I think so.
To revert back to, you cannot invest into an investment pool unless it is administered by the state.
Oh, wow.
there are some
Well,
exceptions that
taxable
we.
fails, and so they want to do away with that, but
Well,
that's
this was a
the
long
exact
time ago,
same
but
thing.
yes, so I don't know the reasoning for anybody wanting to do this, but it will,
Well,
it
somebody
will,
with tax pool would want to do it.
Yeah.
they're not administered by the state anymore. So I don't know if all the investment pools will have to go get administered, but the exceptions right now are that if you're already in them, you can stay with them, but you can't open up like new accounts, but can I move new money over there? I don't know that the answer to that question. So it could create a problem, but I think that the investment people that we have with our investment pools will find a way to keep going to allow counties to invest and get a decent rate.
But it might be good for this court to have a resolution opposing that legislation. If you can send us that, then we can get that on the
Yeah,
agenda. 'Cause
I'm sure
you
on,
do a great job with our investment.
on the listserv, I believe there was a sample of what you could send to
Okay.
the legislature. And I don't even know how I don't know exactly the steps that proposals proposed legislatures go. I know at some point it'd get killed and not go any further. So I don't know. I haven't seen where it is at this current time.
We
but
can find out from TAC, but if you'll send us
yeah,
that
I
info,
could do that.
then I'll get a resolution together.
All right. Cool. Item number 22, or is that the one we're on right now?
That-
Oh, it is on. All right. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Aye. Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Passes. Item number 23.
I move to approve the January 2025 treasurer's report.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
At this point in January, the total law funds was $31,571,388. And I had 47% invested in these investment pools we were talking about and 53 at the depository bank. But I'm sorry, 53% at the investment pools and 47% in the depository bank.
And I just had a question, either you or maybe for the auditor's office. Under juvenile case management, I think we get some grant funds to help with that and maybe
We
get something
actually
from St.
are
Patricia.
funded through the school and the city
Okay.
and the town of Fulton.
Oh, that's right. that's
And
right.
we get reimbursed by them, so it's possible that we're waiting for reimbursement.
Okay.
from them.
So I have billed them for fourth quarter and then now I'm fixing to do for first quarter, but we had an additional employee. That's why they were kind of in the negative for most of the year was because of the additional employee that wasn't accounted for in the budget.
Okay,
But we do invoice them.
we are anticipating
Yes, ma'am.
reimbursement from those
Yes, ma'am.
other entities. Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Aye. Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Passes. Item number 24.
I move to approve the February 2025 treasurer's report.
I'll second that.
Same story, another month. Balance is running about the same, $32,222,000. I think I had a little bit less at the depository bank. I think I moved, I had the opportunity to move, I think 1 million or maybe 2 million into the investment pools. Any questions?
I have no questions. Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Aye. Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Thank you, Madam Treasurer. Appreciate your reports. Item number 25.
I move to approve reappointing Mike Gear as Emergency Management Coordinator for 1 year, beginning April the 8th of 2025, at a stipend of $20,000.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
Thank you for
Good
having
morning.
emergency manager hat back on.
Okay. We need to get you a couple.
Any questions, off the top?
You know, what do you, you've been in long enough to have an idea from, I guess, the local, federal, state level. And I know you've done, according to everything you've done, a lot of required training. What is your biggest perceived threat to our community, to our citizens here?
That's a good question. Everybody wants me to say hurricanes. But that's somewhere between number one, which I think is wildlife or wildfire, problems, which is to say wildland versus um, uh, neighborhood fires. So there's an interface there that that I think we face more and more as we get new developments in our community. But I think hurricanes probably fall somewhere between there and say ice storm. Because it's not while it is the worst thing that could happen to us, just about, it's not likely to happen every single year. We do get threats, but it's not we're not likely to have a landfall every year for hurricane. But a close second and probably a 1A at this point with me is domestic terrorism, and with our border being open as long as it was, we undoubtedly had hundreds of thousands of people coming across the border every year, millions of people coming across. Some of America's enemies are bound to have made it into our country. And one thing we know about some of the enemies that we've had recently in the last couple of decades is that they like to surprise attack us. And if they're able to form cells throughout our country, even if there were 1,000 of them, in small community like ours, 8 or 9 people dressed up as first responders or as EMTs or law enforcement at a large scale event, an oyster fest or a sea fair or a wine festival or crawfish boil or on the beach, they could have a large impact. And if they're willing to fight to the death, like so many of them have stated now that they are, they're going to try to do as much damage as they can before that happens. And so in emergency management, and I'm certain the sheriff sees things that I don't see, and he's having discussions that I'm not privy to, and I have no reason to be privy to. But in emergency management, it's becoming clear to us that it's more than a perceived threat. It's likely going to happen if we don't do something to prevent it. And then, but even still, you can't always prevent a surprise, but you can be ready for it. And so I think in the next 12 months, I'm going to shift a little bit more toward trying to help us get ready for a terrorist type attack in our community. I'm going to try to seek advice and maybe have a roundtable discussion with some veterans. What did you learn? What are some of the telltale signs you learned while you were deployed that we might look for here, since it is the same type of enemy that we could face here? And then kind of report back, and then maybe work a tabletop exercise in with that on an event. But I do, anytime we have a large scale event, as the emergency manager, I'm not always given it, but I ask for the emergency management plan or the emergency action plan for that event. And then I'll host a Zoom meeting where we'll discuss that in an open forum. And like I said, I don't always get it, but I'm getting better participation. I try to provide it whenever I do anything at the airport. I try to provide an emergency action plan and then discuss it with law enforcement and first responders. But hopefully that'll gain more traction as we go forward. But anyway, Sheriff, I'll involve the sheriff more too on some of my thoughts on the other perceived threat, 1A.
Well, one of the things that you have done over the short time that you've been in emergency management is you have broadened the scope of information, because you have held some Zoom meetings and different things where if a person is interested, they can attend either in person or locally. And I think that's the right step. If we get people out and get aware that there are solutions to issues that may come about, and this is what they can do, I think it helps everybody, and especially in the fact that you and the sheriff and DPS and everybody are working together with a common goal, with common training, I think is an excellent deal.
Thank you very much.
Mike, I have a neighbor who is getting ready to retire, I guess, for the second time from the government. But he has done tremendous number of risky assignments, like in Ukraine and Russia and Romania and Moldova. And I think he'd probably be a good person. So when you
Like
get
to have
ready
his-
to
yes,
get
ma'am.
your team together, I'd like to give
You
you his.
forward that to me at your earliest convenience. I don't want to, I'm going to get on this pretty quick.
We just had a new senior ATF guy moving to town, and he's just retired. He was at the management level.
Be good to talk to him as well. The colonel that you and I both know, he'll be part of that roundtable discussion as well.
Cool.
Cool, Mike. Well,
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Yeah, thank you
Appreciate
for what
you.
you do, Mike.
Commissioner Cheney,
All right.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
All right, passes. Item number 26.
I move to approve the budget line items.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second? Yeah.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 27.
Move to approve accounts payable and payroll liabilities.
Second.
What you have before you are the normal payroll liabilities, as well as accounts payable. I would like to point out a few in Fund 430, which is our capital improvement fund. Basically, all of our grant information or where our grants pass through. We have PGAL for courthouse of $1,865.66. G and W Engineering is generators, the ones out at airport, road and bridge and stuff. They're our engineering firm. It's $1,611.12. And Operation Lone Star, which is one of our deputies is involved in. We've reimbursed or we've paid out $3,785.19. In 431, which is our American Rescue Plan Fund, we have Tyler Technologies for jury software of $4,000, and CoFile, which is some of the district clerks archiving and digitization, was $35,082.52. In 435, which is the courthouse, we have Teal Construction, and that was for 2 months. It was January, February invoice that totaled $131,784.33. And Broadus was our February invoice was $8,582.48. I have 2 invoices that were not on your list that you received. I'm walking them in today and asking them to be approved. One is for Bloomers. It's mulch that is supposed to be delivered today at the airport, and for Pathways, they're 18-wheelers full of mulch, 2 truckloads, and it totaled $5,250. And Rapid Financial is the funds that we use as a company that loads our jury pay cards, and it's $2,454.
I had a couple of questions, but thank you for that, Jackie. The road and bridge bought a utility vehicle for 15,000.
Yes.
What was that?
It is an ATV that they're going to use to pull a mower to mow some of their steep ditches, some of the ditches that they're not able to get their other equipment in. I say steep ditches, something that they can't get other equipment in.
Especially right around in Lamar, around the water treatment facility, those ponds and stuff, on the edge of the ponds, they can't get any equipment in there, heavy equipment, because of the sprinkler systems that the system uses. So they've got that, and they have a mower that they'll attach behind it to pull the mow that.
And then there was a payment, and thank you, to FND Architects for Animal Care for 5,500. I just wondered what that was.
That's the assessment. That's a payment on the assessment.
That had shelter partners, so
yes.
that's like what, their parent organization? Okay, but that's what that's about, that
Yes,
survey?
that's survey, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then, there was a $5,000 payment, and I think it said to B&H Photo. Was that for IT?
That would have been one of mine.
And what is that?
If that's the one I'm thinking of, I believe that was a mobile audio video rig for PA presentations and such. That'd be used at Pathways and other places where we don't have a sound system or anything.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Aye. Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. At this time, we hear from reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. No action will be taken. Got anything? All right. Now reports about items of community interest. Mike, did you have anything on that one? Okay,
Well, we have a new person here. Maybe we
Oh,
should
yeah.
have her introduce herself.
absolutely. Come
wanna
on
come
up, Miss
up?
Carrie.
Podium?
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. My name is Carrie Moore, and I am the new field rep for Congressman Michael Cloud. So I will be attending your events as often as humanly possible. So whatever I can do for you, I have a few pieces of paper that have my information on it, only because my business cards haven't come in. Doge has not cut the business card fund. I will have business cards, just not today. So I cover 6 counties. I took Barbie Baker's place. She recommended me for the job. So if there's anything I can do for you guys or that Congressman Cloud's office can do for y'all, let me know. You can call me 24 hours a day.
Does Congressman Cloud ever hire anybody that's short?
I'm not here to speak one way or another on that, sir. That's above my pay grade, but I am not short, so I don't know.
Nice
So
to
if
have
you
you
have-
here, Kim.
If you have any questions or anything, I'm here for you anytime.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
being
introducing
here.
yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right. Do we need to go to closed session? Okay. We'll take I'll take a
Do we need to
motion.
move?
Motion to move into closed session.
I move that we approve going into closed session to consult with counsel and receive legal advice about pending or contemplated litigation, settlement offers, or other attorney-client privilege matters, including but not limited to the items listed below. Aransas County, Texas versus Endurance American Specialty Insurance Company et al. Aransas County District Court, cause number 23-0021. North Star Recovery Service, Inc. versus Aransas County Independent School District in Aransas County. Aransas County District Court, cause number 23-0066. Consolidated with North Star Recovery Services, Inc. versus HR&R LLC et al. Aransas County District Court, cause number 20-0159. Western Steel Company versus T2J Partners LLC, DIE/A FPS Recovery LLC, and Aransas County, Texas, cause number 24-0072 in the 36th District Court of Aransas County, Texas. Old Castle Building Envelope, Inc., DBA Graham Architectural Products versus Sharp Glass LLC et al. Aransas County District Court, cause number 24-0099. Permissible actions under the county's contract with Teal Construction Company. iWorkQ Systems, Inc., a Utah corporation versus Aransas County, Texas. Case number 24-01-00226 in the District Court of the First Judicial District County of Cache, Utah. And Went Services, Inc., Public Information Act request.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. All right, we'll come back in 10 minutes.
Okay.
All right, it is 11:07. We have a motion to go back in open session.
So moved.
I'll second that. Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, it is 11:07. We're back in open session and we are not going to take any action discussed in closed session. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second that. Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Thank y'all so much. We're adjourned. Okay.